United, and last year's third-place side had only lost one of their last 10 league games as they'd climbed into a challenging position for a European place over the past couple of months. United's win in their latest match at Falkirk was their first in 7 games, and they'd only won 4 of 14 on the road this season. David Clarkson sent off on holiday by Mark McGee last week and just a place on the bench for his return, with Paul Quinn back in the side in right midfield and Brian McLean continuing at right back. Sheridan and Sutton the front two. 4 changes to the United side, which won at Falkirk, with Kenneth back for Dodds, Daly and Feeney in for Sandaza and Conway, and David Robertson making way for James Veselowski. The commentary comes from Jim Proudfoot.
Now Sutton, and he's got Sheridan wanting the early ball to his right-hand side. He goes alone, and it's curved just wide, and only just wide as well. Well, it was a good run. He looked for the top left-hand corner. He was only inches away from finding it, John Sutton. This is Paul Caddis. That's a decent ball in, the flick round the back, and what a miss. Great chance for Lee Wilkie to give Dundee United the lead, and it's a chance that he spurned. Really well worked. Paul Caddis with a delightful ball inside the penalty area, but it was the flick on that caused all the problems, and Wilkie coming around the back still won't be able to understand how that hasn't gone in. Sutton, Sheridan, it was a really nice take by Killian Sheridan, and Sutton couldn't get to the rebound. Now Jim O'Brien. Another opportunity, passed up by Motherwell. It all came after a great first touch from Killian Sheridan. Gary Kenneth is down hurt here. He looked a little bit dazed after the ball had been cleared. Already without Darren Dodds because of injury today. They can't afford to lose Gary Kenneth as well. But they're certainly going to lose him temporarily. Klimple. Now Jim O'Brien. Not a bad ball in, it's a good finish as well from John Sutton. Marginally against the run of play, it's Motherwell that get the first goal. And it's all about the delivery from the former United player, Jim O'Brien. Wonderful shape on this cross. And it only needed a deft little flick from Sutton, but that was enough. Lovely execution. The delivery making the goal. The most frustrating aspect of this goal, though, the fact that Gary Kenneth was off the field at the time. Cragan's clearance. Hughes. And Sheridan's onside here. Killian Sheridan after being found by a delicious ball from Stephen Hughes. That's a brilliant piece of defending from Gary Kenneth to clear it off the line. Well, if you're being critical, you'd say that Sheridan should have been able to convert that and hit it with more power, but he did everything right. He kept his head. First corner of the second half. Wilkie was in the way, and it's put in by Sandaza. The equalising goal scored by the Spanish substitute. And within 10 minutes of coming on, Dundee United are back on level terms. Again, it's a set piece that proves to be Motherwell's undoing. And Francesco Sandaza is the beneficiary. Smith came through a crowd of players, but it was by no means an effective punch. It's a real poacher's goal from Francesco Sandaza. But over the balance of play, it is no more than Dundee United deserve. They haven't defended corners very well. What about attacking them? It's a good ball in! What a chance for McLean. A really good delivery. Some pretty inauspicious defending, but it was a lovely ball from Hamill. And Brian McLean, in front of goal, has contrived to drag it wide. Potentially dangerous flick on. Break for Swanson. Oh, what a was a good save as well. Almost out of nothing from Danny Swanson. Still the danger not cleared. It comes from Wesolowski. Motherwell living on their nerves defensively, but for how much longer? Smith falls into another good save, this time from Canis. But the stop that Graham Smith made from Swanson really was of the highest order. Graham Smith's future has been the subject of a little bit of speculation, and this will just about add another few quid to his potential weekly wage. Well played by the centre-half, a great ball in! Sandaza missed his kick, Wesolowski. Motherwell living on their nerves defensively, managed to get the ball to safety. Every time it comes in that penalty area, they look panic-stricken. Appeals for a penalty, fall on deaf ears. And now an opportunity for Motherwell on the counter-attack with Klimple to Hughes. To his left-hand side, Jim O'Brien. Clarkson's in the centre. Lovely ball in for him. Clarkson again tries to win the second ball and does! United stood and watched. David Clarkson gives Motherwell the lead. But there didn't seem to be too much danger. United had got bodies back, and it was helped in. Zaluska thought about coming for the first header, but stayed flat-footed, and then sends it over Zaluska into the net. Might just have come close to taking a touch off Gary Kenneth as well, but Clarkson will certainly claim it. And that just seconds after United thought they should have had a penalty at the other end. And the quick break could be on again. Clarkson. Played through quite beautifully. Sutton! Should have scored. Dundee United gambling bodies forward. Motherwell quick on the counter-attack, and that could well have made the game safe.
It was a massive game for both teams. I think it was a massive opportunity for them to, as good as put us out of sight, and we had to win that game today to give ourselves a realistic chance of catching Dundee United and Aberdeen and possibly Hearts.
Yeah, there's an element of frustration today. That's as well as we've played for a number of weeks. Hard place to to control a match, and I felt for long periods today we did control the game. We were undone by a couple of things that were out with our control.
Yeah, we're happy with Hearts losing because it keeps it all in the boil, it keeps everyone in the mix, and we're up for that. We've got no worries at the fact that Hibs stay above us. We've got out of the bottle to handle that. We believe that in the long run we'll overcome that. But we've now got Dundee United and Aberdeen and Hearts and Hibs firmly in our sights.
They've got to oil those dressing room doors at Fir Park. 1 defeat in 11 for Motherwell in the SPL. They've won 6 of those, and that's why they're in contention. Even though, Jim, they're outside the top 7, they're in contention for a European place.
Yeah, I mean,
top 6, I should have said.
Well, they've got real momentum, Jim, and that's the thing. When you've got momentum, when you've got you've got confidence, and you can dig out a result when your performance hasn't been great, like they did against Dundee United, because I think United were the better side. But when you get a victory, it just breeds confidence, and Matt McGee knows his team can play a lot better, but just chipping away and picking up the points.
Gary Kenneth was off the field when Motherwell scored their first goal, and it was John Sutton who was to take advantage. Yeah,
I mean, I think it's on Paul Carris has went to centre-back area there, and when the cross comes in, he's just got flat-footed, and John Sutton's in behind him, and then makes a little run across him. No one tracks him, ball watching there, and he just comes in and just stretches it. I think he goes to hit it in the other corner actually, and I think it just scrapes off his toe. But it's a good striker's goal. He just gambles on where the cross is going to land. I love a little flick, and it's another good goal for John Sutton.
John Daly had been ineffective for United in the first 45 minutes. He was substituted at half-time, and an immediate dividend for United with Sandaza's goal.
Yeah, I think John Daly probably played because of the pitch. Probably Craig's thinking, we need a big target man up there. We're not going to play much football. But Sandaza comes on there, and again, instinctive strikers play. He's just looking in the right area and just swivels and gets his foot in it. I don't think Graham Smith should have came for that. I mean, he's been having an outstanding season, the goalkeeper, but he came into a crowded area and got a little bit lost, and the ball fell in vitally for Sandaza just to poke home.
Mark McGee had given David Clarkson a bit of a holiday last week. He sent him off to Spain for a few days. He felt he deserved a rest, and it was him who weighed in with what turned out to be the Motherwell winner.
Yeah, I think a few of the players will be saying, Gaffer, any chance to get away for a wee break to Spain, and we'll come back and we'll do the business for you. But this time, again, it's up in the air. I think, keeper maybe could have came there. It's hanging there a long time, but take nothing away from, Clarkson. He waits, keeps his eye firmly on the ball, and just looks over the stranded goalkeeper, Jaluska. And I think Jim O'Brien, he likes his little step overs, and he just puts it in the danger area. But when the ball's up in the air for me, it's a long time. But again, you've got to be in there, and Clarkson's quite brave, because it could have been a clash of heads with Gary Kenneth.
Just before that goal, Dundee United had a penalty claim which was clearly turned down. What did you think, Jim?
I think it was a penalty. I think that Ian Brines, I think he's in a great position. Danny Swanson, for me, is taken out by Klumpo. I don't think there's any doubt whatsoever. He doesn't make any contact. I think as soon as he puts his hands up, he knows he's saying to the referee, oh, I didn't touch him. But I think the only reason that the players couldn't complain so much is because it was such a quick breakaway by Motherwell, and obviously finished with a goal.
Well, as Jim said, as you saw in the highlights, Motherwell went straight up the field after that and scored what turned out to be the winning goal. This is what Craig Levine thought of it all.
I think it's a penalty, but at the very worst, it's obstruction. Maybe I'm being kind at that. But there's two separate things here. Of course, it's a draw, and that's a chance for us to maybe go and win it. We'll go down the other end of the pitch, and we could do better to defend the situation, and that's something that I can do something about. We can have a look at that, and I can work with the players, and that gives me some comfort that I can change that.
United disappointed, but Motherwell the winners. 2 more games to come this weekend. There we are, Celtic 3 ahead of Rangers before a trip to Dundee United next Sunday. Before then, of course, Rangers will play host to Hearts on Saturday. Aberdeen now 4th, and they'll go to 6th placed Hibs. Falkirk at home to Inverness in what could be a vital match for Falkirk in particular. Kilmarnock face Motherwell, and St Mirren go to Hamilton.